Hello. We are the team of students that makes up the Pedagogical Partnership, which is run under Oakland University's Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning. Today, we are going to introduce our team, introduce our mission and our initiative, and let you know how you, faculty, students, and community members can get involved.
My name is Lance Markowitz, and I'm an undergraduate student studying Spanish and business management. And I've been involved with CETL for the last 3 years, and then more recently involved with the Pedagogical Partnership program.
Hello, my name is Peyton Bucky. I am a graduate student here at Oakland University studying public administration. I was most interested in getting involved in the pedagogical partnership because I work with a lot of undergraduate students for my job as a graduate assistant through Oakland University's housing department. And I just thought it would be a great way to learn more about these students' interests and needs in education.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dominique. I'm an undergraduate student majoring in criminal justice. I joined this partnership because I've always had an interest in higher education, and I wanted to learn more about how professors develop their methodology and what administering higher ed looks like through a professor's eyes.
Hey everyone, my name is Red, and I'm a doctoral candidate in higher education leadership in the School of Education and Human Services. I am studying ways that higher education institutions can retain students and provide them with the support that they need to matriculate to degree completion. And so, of course, engagement's a big part of that, and that's what drew me to this project in specific. We're looking forward to sharing with you today some of the things that we've been working on over this past year.
Hello, my name is Ariel Williams. I'm currently a graduate student studying biology. I took part in this program because I believe in fostering an inclusive educational landscape through collaboration and consideration of diverse perspectives.
So a lot of the work for the Pedagogical Partnerships program started with some student-faculty collaborations between CETL and Student Congress. And so this began with a 600-plus student survey that was done, checking to see how students self-reported methods that got them engaged in classes. And then on top of that, we have an annual student panel that's all about student engagement in the classroom, how students feel they learn best, where maybe they feel that they learn best, but they don't learn best, and really pushing towards increased understanding.
This is an overview of our partnership at a glance. We are essentially a feedback council / budding research group under CETL that piloted in fall of 2024. Feedback Council may sound a little intimidating. Our main objective is really just to combine the expertise and the experience of both faculty and students in order to improve teaching and learning here at Oakland University. We want to provide opportunities and pathways for teachers and students to communicate with each other on matters pertaining to higher education, such as how to engage students. In order to capture the most information about students here at OU, our program is both open to and currently composed of both undergraduate and graduate students of different majors. Currently, this whole thing is overseen by Professor Cynthia Myrie from CETL. She is our go-to person and kind of our supervisor in terms of finding faculty contacts, organizing our different programs and our initiatives, and providing direction as to where our program will go moving forward. Logistically, we have been holding work meetings in CETL's office at Kresge Library right here on the main campus. And more recently, we have been meeting via Zoom and working more remotely. Students can benefit from the program in many different ways. They gain insights into the sociological and pedagogical research processes that fuel higher education. They also learn about the logistics and just the inner workings of higher ed in general. And they also learn important teamwork and collaborative skills through working as a group. Students can also form really valuable interdisciplinary connections to professional staff and faculty that they might not have crossed paths with otherwise.
Well, let's reel it back real quick and give you guys an overview of where things started at back in the fall. And so like any good research project or endeavor, we began by conducting a pretty thorough review of the literature as a foundational starting point. We initially found other similar programs that exist at campuses across the country, various institutions, large and small, public, private. And we found that the goal of these programs are largely to develop innovative teaching strategies and foster a more inclusive and engaging classroom environment as we were looking to do. And we used information, themes, findings from the literature to inform our process and develop our initiatives. Some common themes that we noticed in the programs that exist was that their programming extends beyond the classroom to include additional initiatives outside of just merely classroom observations. So similarly, we have developed various different initiatives under the larger umbrella of our partnership project as well. These initiatives include so far, in addition to the panels that Lance organized and the data that he collected with the Student Congress. Additionally, Dominique is heading up our new faculty orientation initiative to introduce newly hired faculty members to the OU community upon taking their new posts. We're also considering ways to incorporate professors teaching asynchronous online courses and have been brainstorming ways to add in evaluation components in that regard. And we've been exploring what other similar campus partnership programs are doing and have found many offer syllabi review, which we're considering adding in the fall as well.
So as Red mentioned, I am heading up our new additions to faculty, new faculty orientation. These are things that we would like to add in addition to the current program that runs under CETL for new faculty orientation. Firstly, we would like to include a segment that briefly explains what the pedagogical partnership is to new faculty and why the relationship between students and professors is so important. Secondly, we would like to add a new student panel component in addition to the current faculty element that is currently part of the program. This would be composed of 3 to 4 current students that can share what has made learning better for them at OU. Ideally, these panelists would be from different class standings, majors, and even different levels of academic performance so that new faculty can gain practical tips and insights from a student's point of view. While not all students are experts in pedagogy or have teaching experience themselves, they are personally able to share methods, experiences, or sentiments from professors that they've worked with that could be beneficial to others. This would also help foster a culture of collaboration between students and faculty and make the gap between instructors and students not seem so wide.
As for what we are working on inside the classroom, we designed a process for conducting observations of student and instructor engagement in OU classrooms. As Red mentioned, the classroom observations use peer-reviewed metrics for student engagement to guide our documentation of student engagement and to inform our conversations with instructors about our findings. The ultimate goal is to improve the classroom experience, generally broken into teaching and learning for Oakland University instructors and students alike. As for the rubric that we designed, we did originally design it with synchronous in-person classes in mind, but we were able to observe professors conducting asynchronous online classes as well, and we adapted our rubric to fit the unique needs of their students. And Peyton is going to discuss more about that later on. Since we're in the pilot phase of the pedagogical partnership, we wanted to make sure that students who participate in the future are set up for success by having a complete reference of how we conducted these classroom observations. We prepared an orientation slide deck, which has been uploaded to our eSpace that walks interested students through the process we designed and gives them a sense of what we are looking for from our student observers. Since we want our conversations with instructors to be an open dialogue, we made mention of interpersonal skills that we're looking for, and also the ability to resolve any conflicts that may arise. As students, we wanted to ensure that the faculty voice was considered throughout this process. As such, we decided that an initial meeting with instructors just to learn about their teaching philosophy, current techniques for student engagement, or any challenges to student engagement they have noticed was optimal, just to get to the root of what they want to get out of working with our initiative and what we can do as observers to support whatever those goals may be. Scheduling for the classroom observations themselves are also done in this initial meeting, which we termed Protocol 1. As for the classroom observations, we decided that having 1 to 2 student observers might mitigate any biases that students have in regards to how they evaluate instructor efforts to engage students. We also designed a rubric based on the aforementioned peer-reviewed metrics for student engagement to ensure that student observers are consistent in what they are looking out for. Following the classroom observations, student observers will reach out to the instructor they are working with to determine a date and time for the follow-up conversation. They will also submit their observations to a Google form and prepare for the Protocol 2 meeting by filling out a take-home packet for instructors, which includes the filled-out rubric from the observations, as well as a synthesized evaluation of what techniques seem to work and their suggestions for improved student and instructor engagement. During the Protocol 2 meeting, students will discuss their observations with instructors, making sure to be specific about why they evaluated a certain aspect of engagement as they did. This is a conversation, so observers are asked to see if the instructor noticed the same things or if they have an alternative perspective. They will also discuss their suggestions for opportunities to improve engagement with their instructor and note the response in the take-home packet. Finally, observers will send a survey to instructors at the end of the Protocol 2 meeting that allows instructors to evaluate observer conduct throughout the process and also provide any feedback they may have on what our initiative did well and where opportunities for our own improvement may lie. In the spirit of operational excellence and continuous improvement, we use the contents of this survey to inform our process and ensure that student observers are receiving proper training.
These are two sentiments from those Protocol 2 meetings that we wanted to share with other faculty. We are very happy with the outcomes produced by our initial observation rubric, the questions we asked, and what aspects of teaching we focused on during observations. However, moving forward, we would like to further develop how we can assess the need for and deliver more constructive feedback for instructors. In the meantime, for this pilot round of observations, most of our faculty were self-selected and therefore already demonstrated exemplary student engagement skills. And for me, as an undergraduate student with limited teaching experience, I am personally not in a position to outright tell instructors what they should or should not be doing in the classroom. So in my case, for my Protocol 2 meetings, I focused on asking questions about methods or practices I observed that seemed unique or beneficial for students, and how those professors developed their methodology and what values they bring to higher education. These are some of those sentiments and values that we wanted to share with other educators. Ultimately, these anecdotes are part of what our research group wants to collect and disseminate, experiences and ideas that could make teaching better for both students and faculty at the university.
Outside of the individual choices that professors make pedagogically in the classroom, we also noticed through the observations that there are some things outside of the professor's control, such as the physical environment, that can limit what types of engagement they use in specific courses. For example, in larger lecture halls where there's fixed seating and you can't very readily put tables together, this could be a hindrance. Also, being the age in which the buildings on our campus were built, there's some ADA compliance, catch-up work that needs to happen. And so these can also be, again, environmental contextual factors that are certainly without of the individual professor's control, but does have a bearing on the choices and moves that they make in the time that the students are in the classroom. So something that we noticed and just wanted to add as well.
Mentioned throughout this presentation, this was our pilot year of the Pedagogical Partnership, or our inaugural year. So at the end of the year, we decided to reflect on this past year throughout the initiative and think of some things that we did well, some things that didn't go as well, and some areas for improvement. So here are some lessons learned throughout our first year of the initiative. We thought it would be very beneficial to develop more tools for use in online classes, both synchronous and asynchronous online classes. After COVID, there was a proliferation of online teaching modalities. So we think that this is a very important type of educational environment to study. We also think it might be important to measure intellectual engagement, more student engagement with the material that the professors are giving them rather than simple engagement with the activities that the professors provide to the students, or conducting rote memorization activities. We also want to recruit more people to join us in our mission to explore pedagogy, and we want students and faculty to be involved in this effort, so there is a mutually beneficial relationship between the two groups of people. We also think that it would be a good goal to introduce this project as an opportunity during new faculty orientation, just to make professors aware right away that this is a project that exists on Oakland University's campus to better students and faculty. Additionally, we think it would be important to engage an administrator to help out with scheduling in the future because we did run into a lot of logistical issues and there was a lot of administratively heavy tasks that sometimes prevented us from doing observations and pedagogical research that we really, really want to focus on. So I'd like to thank you all for listening to our presentation. If you have any questions about the Pedagogical Partnership or want to get involved, please contact CETL or Dr. Cynthia Myrie using the email at the bottom.